neuro-linguistic programming. So neuro-linguistic programming is all about your self-talk and how you talk to others in order to build rapport, and strategies and techniques in order to improve your performance, your well-being and your relationships in essence, and loads of different techniques to be able to achieve that. And so I did the practitioner course in November, and then I did the master practitioner course really closely afterwards, that in January and February of 2014.
Yeah.
And with the same company I did my leadership coaching qualification with the Institute of Leadership, and I got the certificate for that in September, I think. So that allows me to still work in the corporate world with my leadership history, but also then I can sort of coach people. And the idea is that I'm now a leadership coach, well actually a leadership therapist.
Okay.
So the leadership therapist is I work within support a company with lots of different leaders, all of those on different journeys. They're all individuals in their own right, so it's not like one sort of process matches everybody's needs. It has to be individual and bespoke. And so in any given workplace where there's sort of like, let's say 100 people, there'll be a couple of people who are detractors. So there'll be people that are upsetting the apple cart. They'll not be sticking to policies. They'll be a little bit harder to manage. And there'll be managers who have potentially been promoted because they were good at something that they were specialised in.
Mm-hmm.
And so by rewarding them for their great work in their sole performing role, we think that we need to give them managerial responsibilities to promote them. And sometimes that doesn't work because not everybody's designed to be a manager or a leader. And so those individuals who are then sort of like performing at the top of their game are now sort of detracted from what they're good at and have to now look after staff. And sometimes it's not necessarily the best thing for them. So, and then in other cases, sort of women returning back to work after maternity, or just general woes of womanhood. Sometimes there's a glass ceiling about leadership, and so the things that I can do is I can work with all of those different types of scenarios to help them communicate better, focus on the well-being, the performance and their relationships in order to make the most out of the time that they've got in the workplace, and hopefully that will filter through into their life as well. So it's the holistic approach to make sure that somebody is performing at their best. Okay. Lots of different techniques for that.
Yeah, it sounds brilliant. I mean, would you get resistance managerially from these big corporations to instigate some of these processes that you talk about, or is it?
It totally depends, and that's why it's really important that the companies that I work with are already aligned with the values that I want to. So there is a lot of discussions to start off with to make sure that we are in alignment. So sometimes companies will say we've got a leadership development process, and it'll be a tick box exercise. And so what they're doing is they're just putting the staff through it, and then as long as they've qualified, that's it. And for those individuals who are on that course, it's a real shame because they're just turning up, doing the assignments, and then once the certificate's arrived, it's done. It's something they can pop on the CV, but they're not living it or breathing it. The different approach that I have is that it becomes part of their sort of routine. They've built habits and like lifestyle changes in order to improve how they embed this new learning into their life. And because NLP is so quick and easy, and you see the results straight away almost, it means that you're more likely to take them forward. So the amount of effort that you put in is so unequivocal to the amount of gain that you get from doing it. It just makes sense to just do it.
Yeah. It sounds like you've got a shopping list of services you can offer then. So how would a company find out about you? How could you put packages together? How would that work?
Contact me through my website and on LinkedIn, and everything I do is bespoke. So that's the corporate response, and then if we sort of drill down into the help for the individual at that level, there's other things that I can do with them. So I can do hypnosis and breakthrough days, which would not be in the workplace. It would be separate appointments, but obviously it would be still covered under the package that I would be providing for the employer. And it's about conversation. It's about breaking down who needs what, and obviously I always give a free session to start off with, sort of an introductory call to find out exactly what the needs are, and then I go away and I think about what tools I can use and what strategies I can use, and then I can bespoke a package directly for that individual or number of individuals within that company.
Yeah. Sounds a lot better than a team day out building boats and things, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
that's really good. So you would potentially work with any sort of business, really, as long as they would need the desire to change, wouldn't they? I think
that's right.
and they would
That's
need that, and
absolutely right.
that's a good thing.